good fight.
Yeah, who wins? Who do you think wins?
You gotta think Tank.
All right, let's dive into this wild ride of a boxing saga featuring Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach Jr., with a sprinkle of Mike Tyson's commentary and a whole lot of chaos thrown in for good measure. It's March 24th, 2025, and the boxing world is still buzzing about the controversial majority draw between Davis and Roach that went down on March 1st at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. This fight has sparked debates, ruffled feathers, and left fans, fighters, and legends like Tyson shaking their heads at the state of the sport. So, who's coming out on top if these two run it back? Let's break it down round by round and see where this rematch might take us. First off, the fight itself was a roller coaster. Davis, the WBA lightweight champ with a record of 31-1 and 28 knockouts, stepped into the ring as the heavy favorite. Known for his explosive power and a knack for ending fights early, Tank has built a reputation as a modern-day wrecking ball. Roach, the WBA super featherweight title holder moving up to challenge for Davis's belt, came in with a chip on his shoulder and a 24-1-2 record, including 10 knockouts. Most folks expected Davis to steamroll him, maybe in 5 or 6 rounds, but Roach had other plans. He weathered Tank's patented power punches and turned the night into a gritty 12-round war that left everyone stunned. The scorecards told the tale of a razor-thin contest. Judge Eric Marlinski saw it 115-113 for Davis, while Steve Weisfeld and Glenn Feldman both scored it 114-114, resulting in a majority draw. Nobody likes a draw, least of all Davis, who's used to sending opponents to the canvas. "Nobody likes a draw," he said at the post-fight press conference. "I feel if we fight again, I could do more. That was on me. I didn't pick it up like I should have. I could have done more. Definitely could have done more. I'm getting back in the gym in a week. It's me. Definitely my fault." Humble words from a guy who usually lets his fists do the talking, but the night was full of uncharacteristic moments that threw him off his game. One of the biggest talking points was the 9th round. Davis, typically a buzzsaw, took a knee after a body shot from Roach. It looked like a knockdown to many, Roach included, but referee Steve Willis didn't call it that way. Instead, he let Davis retreat to his corner, where he wiped his face, with a towel to deal with what he later described as a burning sensation in his eyes. "I just got my hair done 2 days ago, and she put grease in my expletive," Davis explained. "When you're sweating and things like that, the grease came into my face. It burnt my eyes." His co-trainer Calvin Ford called it hoe juice, some kind of hair chemical that got into Tank's eyes and threw him for a loop. "I ran water over it today, but not enough," Davis added. Willis's decision not to rule it a knockdown preserved. Crucial points for Davis, and that call loomed large when the final tallies were read. Roach wasn't buying it. "Honestly, I thought I should have won without that, but the rules state if you take a knee, that's a knockdown," he said. "If it counted, I would have won the fight." He started counting. "Did you see me tell Willis to keep counting?" He stopped. "I don't know why." If that 9th round had been scored 10-8 for Roach instead of 10-9 for Davis on Feldman and Marlinski's cards, the outcome would have flipped. Roach would have walked away with both the lightweight and super featherweight titles. A massive upset that would have shaken the boxing world to its core. The controversy didn't stop there. Mike Tyson, the former heavyweight king and a vocal figure in the sport, chimed in with a scathing critique. He blasted the judges, particularly Weisfeld and Feldman, for what he saw as incompetence. He also took aim at Willis, calling him too confused to handle a fight of this magnitude. Why would he stop counting despite starting the count earlier? Tyson fumed. Then he turned his wrath on the World Boxing Association and the New York State Athletic Commission, accusing them of corruption and claiming they had the power to overturn the decision but didn't. It smelt corruption on all angles, he said, arguing it painted a grim picture of boxing's current state, overrun by incapable hands who are dragging the sport down. Tyson's not alone in his frustration. The fight drew a record 19,250 fans to the Barclays Center, making it the second highest grossing event in the venue's history, only behind a 2012 Rolling Stones concert. That crowd came to see Tank dominate, but they left jeering as he took off his New York Yankees hat, a nod to the local fans, and faced the reality of a draw. Roach, meanwhile, earned their respect, outlanding Davis in total punches, 112-103, and jabs, 25-10. He took Tank's best shots, fired back, and stood tall through 12 rounds. "It takes a nut to get in there for 12 rounds, Roach said. It was a close, skillful fight. Davis admitted Roach was no pushover. "We always knew Lamont Roach was not a cheap date," said his co-trainer Barry Hunter, pointing to the familiarity between the two. They'd fought twice as amateurs, with Roach believing he was robbed in one of those bouts. Davis, though, thought he'd done enough to win. "I was hitting him with lots of shots and breaking him down," he said, noting he swept the final 4 rounds on Weisfeld's card and took 2 of the last 3 on Feldman and Marlinski's. "Hopefully we'll run it back. Let's do it again." So, what about that rematch? Both fighters want it. Davis has a rematch clause in his contract, signed before the first fight just in case of a loss or draw. "I signed for the immediate rematch when I signed for the first fight," he said. "It's up to the other side, and when they want to fight, I'm thinking it's going to be soon. I'm hoping it's going to be soon. To me, soon is July." Roach is just as eager. 100% it's only a matter of time, he said. "We're going to fight again. It's just whenever the fight's going to happen." He'd prefer it in Washington, D.C., his hometown, over another night at Barclays. But he's ready wherever it goes down. The stakes are sky high. For Davis, it's a chance to prove the draw was a fluke, an off night marred by hair grease and a lack of focus. He's already talking about getting back in the gym, fueled by the sting of not finishing Roach. "It'll add fuel to the fire," he said. "I've got at least 4 fights left in me." A win could set up a blockbuster clash with Shakur Stevenson, the WBC lightweight champ, a fight fans have been salivating over. For Roach, it's about turning a moral victory into an official one, proving he's not just a tough out, but a legit threat to Tank's reign. "I thought I won, but we can run it back," he said. "I've got the skills to pay the bills. I knew I had what it takes. Once I took his best shot, I knew I'd be okay." The comparisons to Mike Tyson keep swirling around Davis, and they're worth digging into. Roy Jones Jr., who faced Tyson in a 2020 exhibition, called Tank a modern-day Mike Tyson, highlighting his power and unpredictability. "He's very powerful, and anything can happen at any time, inside or outside the ring," Jones said. Tyson himself sees similarities in their punching technique. "For him and myself, our stoutness to the ground catapults us like a bow and arrow. And the force is unstoppable," he told TMZ. But Davis pushes back on the mini Tyson label. In an interview with YouTuber Funny Marco, he said, "No," when asked if he felt like Tyson in the ring. "I'm a boxer-puncher. Tyson was a brawler. I feel like I have the whole package, what Mike Tyson doesn't have." Tyson's own recent fight, a lackluster loss to Jake Paul in November 2024, has added another layer to this story. Davis, a lifelong admirer, was vocal about it. "Mike, you will forever be a legend whether you like it or not," he said. "Who told Mike Tyson to fight anyway? It tarnished his legacy, definitely did." The $20 million payout might have been worth it to Tyson, who'd faced health scares earlier in the year, but to Tank, it wasn't worth the hit to Iron Mike's mystique. He even threatened to step in and fight Paul himself to avenge the icon. So, who wins the rematch? I've got to say Tank. I mean, you've got to lean toward the guy with the knockout power and the hunger to redeem himself. But don't sleep on Roach. He's got the heart, the chin, and the skills to make it a dogfight again. Will it go all 12 rounds? Could be, but I doubt it. Davis knows he left points on the table last time, and he'll come out swinging to avoid another judge's decision. If he catches Roach clean, it's lights out. Still, Roach's resilience could drag it deep, maybe even to another close call. Picture this. July 2025, maybe in D.C. like Roach wants. The crowd's electric, the tension's thick. Davis, eyes clear of any hoe juice, stalks Roach from the opening bell, looking for that knockout blow. Roach dances, counters, and takes Tank's best shots, firing back with those short lefts that surprised everyone last time. It's a chess match with dynamite strapped to the pieces. If Tank connects early, it's over by the 7th. If Roach hangs tough, we're in for another 12-round thriller, and the judges better be ready for the heat. Boxing's a mess sometimes. Corruption whispers, shaky refs, and all, but nights like these keep us hooked. Tank versus Roach 2? It's got fireworks written all over it. Let's just hope the sport's incapable hands don't muck it up again.